5 years or so, I'd be in the hospital every 3 months because I was stressed out, and I'd pass out, and I'd have to go in an ambulance, and they'd pump me full of morphine. They would knock me out, and I'd get back up, and I'd do it again. I did that for years. That was my life. That's why I hated my life. Why am I doing this? And you have all this money coming in. You're like, how do I stop the train? When I started focusing on Jason, focusing on my team, that's literally when everything changed.
One of the things that you frequently say is that you ask people, like, what are you building? What's your purpose? And why are you here? Because that's central to everything that's right. People are creating. So I wanted to ask you that question.
What is my purpose?
Yeah, what's your purpose? What are you building, and why are you here?
My purpose is I want to help millions of men get a life that maybe they're thinking they can't get through my own experience. My why is my family. That is the driving force around everything I'm doing. What was the other one? And then
what's your purpose? What are you building, and why are you here?
Yeah, so I'm building my coaching business. That's helping men get it all in life, in every aspect, because that's what I feel you need in order to get true fulfillment.
Yeah, and you can't really tell from the lighting of the cameras, but you're 50.
I'm 50 years old. I feel 20 though, but I am 50 years old.
What I think first thought is, like, how did you manage to recreate your physical body and, like, look how you do at 50?
Well, it started for me. I wasn't always in shape. When I was heavy involved building my construction company, there was a time, I think I was 34 years old, and one of my good friends at the time, and he still is, I had like the turkey neck.
Did he grab it?
Yeah, and I had I had the pouch down here. I wasn't 100 pounds overweight, but I definitely didn't look good. And I actually always cared about what I look like, but you just get in that stage in life, I think, where you're building a business and you're just kind of unaware of what's going on. But that day when he said that, it struck a nerve in me, and I know exactly where I was at. And this was 15 years ago, and I started to become obsessed with, I'm like, this is not gonna happen. And at the time I was eating fast food for every day, like all day every day, chicken and fries and sweet tea and all those things.
That's chicken though, it's protein.
Bojangles, man, I love some Bojangles, and that's what I lived on. But once he said that, man, I did a deep reflection of myself, and I also wasn't feeling very good energy wise and focus. Like, I could start to tell again at 35 from grinding and not taking care of my body. But I ended up finding someone at that point. I literally looked up the world's greatest trainer, and I found this guy in Florida. And at the time, I knew nothing about training, nutrition. And I called him. I was like,
were you making money at the time?
Yes, I was making money at the time. And I'm like, dude, I need you to show me. And I found a picture of him, and I'm like, that's what I want to look like. And that's what I tell people, like, find what you want to look like and, like, get a picture of it. I literally had his picture on my wall, which is a little weird for most people, but I knew what I wanted. We had kind of similar body type. And so I called him when I was like, dude, I want you to train me. He's like, well, I don't really do that. He kind of trained MMA fighters, and he would get people ready for movies in Hollywood, and that was his thing. I'm like, well, I'll pay you whatever you want. So this is 15 years ago. And I remember, I think I was paying him, $2,500 or $3,000 to come down. I paid for his flights, everything, food, everything, for him to come down and show me how to grocery shop, how to buy food, educate me, how to train. And I did that for probably 3 years with him. I became obsessed with taking care of myself. And what I realized when my body started to change, the biggest piece of it was my mind and my confidence, like, went through the roof, right? It's like I had confidence, I had more clarity, I was more focused, I was sharper, people were noticing. And I tell people today, man, 15 years back, I remember it so vividly. Like, when I got into elite shape, which took me about probably 3 years. I mean, I was getting in shape better, but like where you could really notice it, 3 to 5 years. And dude, just everything in my life started to get better because of taking care of myself. That's why I'm so passionate about today about taking care of my health and my physique, is it just changed so many things in my life. It started giving me more opportunities. And the older I got, especially now at 50, I literally get more opportunities because I'm in shape. Like, that's what people notice. And so even in my construction business, we go in and we're doing 400 units at a time, and it's time to talk about getting awarded the project. Like, people want to know that. They want to know what I'm eating. Like I'm doing something unusual, and I'm really not. I'm just very consistent. But it's literally got me into more doors and more opportunities than anything in my life by being in shape at 50. I mean, it's crazy. Like when I think about it, like literally it is the reason why I'm online. Started a coaching business because, Andy said, like, dude, you're 48, you can help people. Like, you just need to get out there. And it was, showing people your
So you were just doing your regular business at the time 2 years ago?
I never had social media. I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. And I'm a total introvert. Dude, I never wore shorts, and I never would take my shirt off. Even I had the physique. I didn't do that. I worked out in long sleeve pants and shirts when I lived in North Carolina. So when I came here, when I moved here, I totally recreated who Jason is. Like, this is not the same Jason you would have met 3 years ago. I wouldn't even be able to talk like this. I was just this shy guy, focused on his business. And
you still have elements of that guy, though. Like,
yes.
Dude, I can't see you taking your shirt off and trying to, you do that for content.
Yeah. I'm a humble guy, right? It's like I'm not really trying to do it in a way to where, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's sometimes a little odd for me to do it.
Yeah.
Because when you are in shape, it's like you see the guys that they just try to just look the part.
Yeah.
And I just look the part.
Even though content you have, what's that?
Yeah, I don't try to look the part. I am the part.
Yeah. Yeah, it comes through, but it's not as obvious to some people. Some people want to see the guy, like they need the guy flexing on everything.
Yeah,
but it's cooler. It's like I think you're probably attracting more real people. It's like real knows real or whatever that saying is, right?
Yes.
And you can see through a shirt and see someone that's jacked under a shirt.
Right. Yes, yeah, it's definitely.
And same thing with business and money. You don't have to flex, a Lamborghini for someone to tell. No, you have a successful business.
Exactly.
So one thing that was interesting, you said you took a photo of this guy, put it on your wall or whatever, and it's the idea of like you're creating your reality, right? And I believe that it's actually the idea of The Alchemist. It's my favorite book. I don't know if you've read it before. The Alchemist. Are you familiar with it? It's my favorite book. It's about like creating, so you can create everything in your life. So for me, 6 months ago, I had an experience similar to what you said. Your guy grabbed the neck, and I went on AI and I took photos of myself, and I made photos of myself in the new version. Yeah. And my girl told me 2 weeks ago, she's like, "You look better than the AI now that I made," and that was cool because sometimes you don't realize how fucking out of shape you are until until you're getting in better shape, and people are like, "Damn, you lost so much weight." That's like, why didn't someone tell me back then? Yeah. And sometimes you need something like what you're saying, someone in your corner, who's going to sit you down and be like, "Bro, dude, you need to change." So walk me through what you're doing right now. Like for high performance, you've stayed in good shape now, obviously. When you were 37, 38, and you started to look good, like, are you in the best shape you're in now, or are you like you kind of maintained?
I feel like I'm in the best shape. I mean, every year I try to get in the best shape that I've ever been in, but my body pretty stays consistent because I'm not trying to get bigger or, I like the look that I have. I'm not trying to be the bodybuilder type. So it's more for me it's about maintaining. It's about, honestly, it's about feeling good mentally. It's about having energy and clarity and focus and being able to function. Yeah. In certain areas, you know what I'm saying? So it's not more, the aesthetic part just comes with it, but it's more about, for me, it's about the clarity I have in my life just by taking care of myself. It's like by far like the thing that if I'm having a hard day, I just go work out and then it just resets me.
So what's like one or two things you're doing that other people could take away to actually implement and start having better cognitive thoughts and operation and feel better, look better? Yeah, I mean it's basic, training, like work, training, 3 to 5 days a week. It's eating clean, single ingredient foods. It's getting your sleep. Sleep is so important that most people, even I, struggle with. It's getting the right amount of water. It's like the right amount of water each day. So if you train consistently, push yourself, right, reasonably hard, you eat single ingredient foods, you get your sleep, and you drink water, you'll beat 98% of the people without calories. I don't count calories. I don't do any of that. I keep up with macros, but I'm not you don't have to do any of that. People have to do that because they're eating the wrong foods. If you eat the way I eat, you don't have to count anything. You just burn. You just burn right through it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just. So you don't track your food? No. I track macros, meaning my protein, carbs, and fats. I understand. Roughly. That. Yeah, roughly. I mean, again, dude, I eat the same things every day.
I've been doing that for 15 years. Like I have the proteins, carbs, and fats. Even when we go out, we had breakfast this morning. It's the same. Like I don't have to think about it. It's like it's the same. I can look at it and know about how much it is.
And what is that?
What I'm saying? What's that?
Like what are you eating?
So like eggs, egg whites. I eat it every morning.
So when you go for breakfast, you go into a place you can get an egg white omelet or something.
I get everything plain. I go to certain places where I know I can get them to cook it a certain way, and so I order plain. Okay. No oil, no butter, with everything that I do when I'm out, because I don't want to.
And so you ask that, you tell them.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, it's no problem at all. No butter, no oil. 2 eggs over medium. No butter, no oil. Plain oatmeal, no milk, no sugar, no nothing. Blueberries on the side. Like that's what we all 3 ate. So it's very.
Do you like that,
dude? If you saw his transformation, every day, you wouldn't know who he is. Like literally, he was like 3 more people than he is right now.
For real?
For real?
Yes.
215 and 140.
215 to 140. Wow.
I mean, and that's everyone in our program comes in. Like you just get in shape by default.
Yeah. But what about the so I don't want to be that guy who's at the restaurant for real. Like it's I think there's a discomfort that a lot of people have around having to specify that, or like, oh, I'm allergic to oil. Like, can you make sure you're not, like, there's these things. So what do you say that?
Dude, I think that's just because you've not done it. It's just a mindset shift like that you have, because you feel uncomfortable because you're basically worried about what someone else thinks. And, we get people all the time. It's like, do you have allergies? I'm like, nope, I don't. This is just the way I eat. Now, most places I go back home, I go to certain places, they already know who I am. That's why I go to the same, I kind of go to the same places so they know that, Jason doesn't want this on his steak or vegetables or whatever. Like, so it's just, no, I mean, I have no, people that say, I was just like, well, do you want the result or you want to not feel funny when you're asking? I mean, I don't know. Like, if you want the result,
yeah, would you rather have,
this is what you need to do.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't have to be as anal as me or whatever, but I don't see a problem in saying I just have it cooked a certain way. I mean, man, it's no problem.
Yeah. So you were talking about these 5 pillars you have, right?
Yep.
And starts with the body. Uh-huh. Everything starts with the body. We kind of talked about that. What's the second pillar?
Your mind, your mindset, developing your mindset. A lot of people they're very weak in their mind, which causes the effect of everything else. If you're failing in any other area of life, it is because your mind and the stories you tell yourself, the identity of who you are, your self-beliefs, limiting beliefs, your self-respect. Like it all comes back down to the one thing. It doesn't matter what area you're trying to fix. It doesn't matter. I study this all the time. It is the stories that you're telling yourself, the thoughts that you have, the feelings you get from those thoughts, and then you take the action based on that feeling, which gives you the result you're getting. So if you want to change anything, you got to change that thought. So you get a different feeling, so you take a different action, you get a different result. Like that's the play. And it doesn't matter if it's money, body, marriage, doesn't matter.
So you feel like the reason people don't have the success that they want is because of the stories they're telling themselves?
100%. 1,000%. And usually that happens because if you think about it, as we grow, and again, I'm telling you, this is what I had to reprogram Jason in order to get Jason where he is today, because we're all programmed 0 to 7. Most of your program is done as a kid, which you didn't choose. It's your parents you're around, your school teachers, your teachers, all these things that you don't choose as a kid, you are programmed. All the things you saw, you didn't see, like that's you. And then by the time you're 7 to 14, you're around middle school and all that, like you're still getting programmed. By 21, you're set. You are who you are. So in order to drastically, why do you think people, they're like, man, people can't change? People can change, but you have to be very intentional about it. It takes work and it takes time, because you've been programmed for the first 20 years of your life to operate and think the way that you operate.
In the years where you're becoming, right?
That's
and
right.
Your brain's forming.
That's right. 0 to 7 is the biggest piece of it. And you didn't choose that. So by the time you get 20 years old, based on the people you're around, the information you let in, families dictate most of this, right? That is shaping you as an adult. And that's why I tell people, like, when you have kids, and most people are not aware, your kids are watching, but you're programming them. Like what they see you do right now, if you don't take care of yourself, you're bad to your wife, you're whatever you are, like you're really showing your kids that is normal and that is the standard, and they will grow up and be just like you. And that's why you see the kids grow up and like their parents. because that's all they saw. So in order to like change that and change your life, if you really want to change your life, you must reprogram who you are if you want to get a radical different result. Now you can get a little bit better, 2x, work a little bit harder, change a little bit more, have motivation and get in shape, and you're like a yo-yo going back and forth, back and forth. Why? Because you never really changed this. That's a process, and that is mostly determined by, again, the information you take in and the people you're around. That's why I tell it, like, to me, the most important thing you could do is the people that you get around will determine your life. If you want to change your identity or change anything, get around people that are doing it. You want to get around people, if you want to be in shape, you don't need to know anything about getting in shape. Just get around people that like if someone hangs out with me for 30 days, they will do things differently. They don't have to know anything. The same with my marriage, the same with my business, because I operate differently. But that, like, when you're trying to get to the next level and you're still staying in the same circle, around the same people and operating at the level that got you those results you get, there's no way you're getting this. There's no way. Like, we say we want this, but we operate where we are. Even if we want it real bad, I've thought about this, because sometimes I'm like, man, why don't you get it? So you really want to change, you really want it, but you still operate and make decisions around your current identity because you don't understand how to do this. And so it's a process to do that. And so that's why when I go back to, what do you want in life? If you really get clear on that, most people can't answer the question. Literally, like 9 out of 10 people can't answer the question. What do you want? And then everything you do in life, your decisions you make should come from this. And everyone makes a decision on where they're at in their current bank account, which is why they get more of what they're getting. Dude, that's it. If you can figure out what you want, make decisions from it, you will get the life you want. And then cut out distractions and get around the right people. That's the play. That's how you will shift your identity. By the way, you're not going to shift your identity in the same environment that you're in. It's not going to happen. I don't care how bad you want it. You're going to have to make some big decisions in your life. You're going to have to make some changes. You're going to have to cut off some people that you're around. You're going to have to stop doing things you're currently doing if you say this is what you want. Most people they say what they want, but they don't really want it. They're not willing to put the work in to do it. Why? Because it is hard. But that's what I had to do. I am not the same person. I am the only one in my family that's made it out. Everyone else is the same person they were 30 years ago. They're still negative. They're still broke. They're still blaming their husbands that's been dead for 20 years or the president that was 10 years ago. Like, everything's everyone else's fault. They're not accountable. I'm the only one that made it out. How did I do it? Because I reprogrammed who I was in every aspect of my life. But I'm very intentional about it. Very intentional.
Yeah, it sounds like when a lot of people, I bet the people you went to high school with, they're probably living life the same way, right?
Dude, they're still the same way, making the same money, like, and wondering what's going on. What are you doing so different? You know what I mean?
You got lucky.
You got lucky. And then they say you've changed. Yes, no, that's called growth.
Yeah.
Right? Because people want to be comfortable. Like, if you look back at everything, how do you reprogram? Like, the reason people don't, why? Because it is uncomfortable. And I would say staying where you're at is more uncomfortable. They're both hard, but you're going to have to be uncomfortable in order to grow and get to the next level. So I chase it. I want to be uncomfortable every day, not dangerous, but uncomfortable. That's how you actually grow in life.
I think everyone wants the goal,
yep.
Which is what you said is here.
Yep.
But people are operating from here. Mm-hmm. And what it sounds like you're saying is the difference between staying here and getting to what you say you want is the shift in identity.
That's right. Your actions, if you actually truly know what you want, then your actions have to align. Your action habits have to align with that. If not, you're not going to get it. So if you say you want this, like we do this in our calls, like a workshop, like you say you want this, but I was like, well, does your habits and what you're doing every day align with that? And the answer is no. Well, then how do you expect you're going to get it? You're never going to get it. I don't care how bad you want it. You have to shift the things that you're doing that align with that. It's the only way the dots ever connect. Eventually they will connect.
And so then we got to shift our identity. And It sounds like it's hard to shift an identity because you've been programmed through your formative years and teen years and even into adulthood. And everything you've done is reaffirmed your programming.
Yep.
And so what I'm hearing from you is it sounds like when you believe the fastest way to change is to get around people that help you change.
1,000%. You're not going to change around the same people. You're not. You're just not. No one. I'm not saying you won't get a little bit better, but you won't drastically change your life. You won't 10x your income. You won't have fulfillment. You're just not.
And when you moved, you changed probably more in the last few years than ever before.
I've changed more in 2 years than I have in 48 years. And I did it intentionally. Was it scary? Yes. Was it uncomfortable? Yes. We just built our dream house. Just finished, like literally.
Back home, where you're staying now?
In North Carolina. The only thing left was putting the end panels on. And I said, Allie, like we're moving. And she cried for a year. You know, it was hard for my kids. My kids, you know, 5-year-old daughter, my son's 7. My son had a little rough time with it, still does, because he misses his best friend back home. My daughter was 3 at the time, so she didn't really understand. But what I knew was this, because I was so miserable in my life. Like, people don't really understand. And I'm like, man, I got to do something different. I need to get in a new environment. And before that, you know, I was searching for something. It was either like Florida or here. I just needed to put myself in an environment where people didn't know me as the flooring guy. Because back there, I was a flooring guy, and I was the guy that people, you know, and again, like, I was the guy pulling people up, but I didn't have anyone stretching me. And I was looking for that stretch, because that's how I got to that point. And so the business groups that I were in back home, it's like they were only money focused. They would go, you know, eat chicken wings and drink beer afterwards. They look forward to going out of town so they could get away from their wife. Like, dude, this is how I've been a part of all the entrepreneurs, the white people. I've been a part of all of it. And I'm just telling you, the common theme doesn't match who I am as a person. I'm like, this ain't for me. And so, you know, 2 years ago, like how I ended up in Arizona is I saw Andy on a podcast. And one podcast Sunday afternoon, I'm like, man, who's this guy? He was talking about taking care of your body, which most people don't. And he talked about taking your family with you. Those are only 2 things he said. After that, I texted the number. This guy got on the phone, tried to sell me like a $2,500 program. I'm like, nope, how do I work with him? It's like, funny you asked. We just started the Brotherhood, which was legit. I was the first one to ever join. I wired him $50,000 at the time. I never met the guy, never saw him, never anything. This was a 10-minute wide podcast. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. Sent the money. 2 weeks later, I'm in there. I spent 5 hours in his office, and my perspective changed. Literally, I tell everybody, that's why the power of one conversation, one person, one relationship, one event can literally change your life, as it did for me. And it just changed my perspective. He just opened me up to like, man, you have this, you're not getting fulfilled over here. You could help a lot of people. I never thought about doing what I'm doing right now. And because of that conversation, it shifted my perspective. At the time, my relationship wasn't good. I wasn't even talking to my wife, and that we went a week in our house and never even spoke. I don't know if you knew that. Like, we went a week in our house and didn't speak.
Back home?
Yeah. And I'm like, we're going here. Because I was just, and again, it wasn't anything major. It was something I did, I know. Something stupid. Maybe my eggs went in the fridge or something. Like, it was something dumb, right? But it wasn't like we were getting a divorce. But when we went here and we left after spending 4 or 5 hours, my perspective just changed. It just went like, it just gave me a new lens to look out of. And I'm like, man, help people? Like, I love helping people. I never thought doing it as a business. And he told me, he's like, I promise you, he's like, you're 48, you're in shape, you have a business, you have a beautiful family. Like, this is what people want. And they just don't know who you are yet. And go home and like take out your phone. And that's literally when, you know, Ali created Instagram on my phone, because I don't even know how to put apps on a phone, right? And it's like, and then I went home and did my first video, which was like the most uncomfortable thing ever, is getting on camera, right? But that's when my life changed. That's why I'm so passionate about helping other people and being mentors, and because it changed my life was good compared to most people, right? I just knew there was another level in me. And I wanted to raise my standards more. And I wanted to get around someone that was operating at a higher level, that was a little crazy, and like, you know what I mean? And that was him. And so, but taking it back to fitness, why do you think me and Andy connected so well? Why do you think? Like, there's only one thing, because I'm in shape. We connected because I'm in shape and I'm older, right? That's how the connection made with him. There was me and him has a bond. Not only because I'm a good person, but if I wasn't in shape, would he? I don't think that would happen.
Probably wouldn't have looked at you with respect. It would have been like, oh, this is some guy that's paying me.
Yeah, because everyone makes money. There's plenty of people making money in business. Like, who cares? But there's not many that are 50 that are in elite shape.
That also make money.
That also make money. And so he saw that in me. He saw something in me, which is what a great mentor and leader is like, if I can see something in you and put belief in you that you can go do something better, that's a good mentor. And that's what it did for me. Right now, I have to go do the work and do the thing, but it changed my perspective. I started self-developing even more. I started like just becoming a better leader, all within like a conversation. And then fast forward 2 years later, now I'm coaching, I've coached hundreds of men now, and not even really, putting it out there, because people just see a post and they reach out and can you help us? And that's how it started, and then, my life has been so different because one, I'm happier than I've ever been in 40. I cannot believe, I tell people, I can't believe I spent 47 years like that. And yes, I've made millions of dollars. I had millions of dollars in my 20s. I made money. I knew how to do that because I was broke and poor, right? So I had that fight in me. But now, the last 2 years, the happiness that I've felt because I can have these types of conversations, and maybe one thing I says triggers someone to actually take a step forward that they wouldn't do, which is why I love the coaching mentor space if it's the right one, because it literally will change your life, as it did mine. And now, I'm gonna build the largest coaching platform on the planet. I'm going to take over. People may not know it yet, but it's going to happen because I'm obsessed about what I'm doing and I won't stop until I get it. That's how I built the other business. And so the fulfillment I have, because I met one person and had one conversation, paid the money to get in a room. You think if I'd have paid, I would have met him? No. You got to pay to get in, or you won't build the relationship. And this is what people is missing. So yes, I think the best thing you could do is find someone that's living a life that you want, that you aspire to be at, and get close to them. That's the play.
Do you regret not changing it earlier?
Yeah, but I can say that. But I think there's a reason. I believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe there's seasons of life we go through. And I believe that, maybe I wasn't prepared before to take the leap if I would have had the conversation 4 years ago. Whereas I was so fed up and frustrated at myself because I wasn't happy inside that I was just searching. It's like if the student is searching, the teacher will appear. I was searching. There's a reason he popped up on my screen on Sunday. There's a reason why I'm here. There's a reason why I have a relationship with him. There's a reason why my life is totally transformed in literally every aspect. My relationship is a 9.5. It was a 0. My mind is different. How I look at my team is different. How I'm leading is different. And that's why I'm so passionate about helping other people understand, you can totally change everything. You just have to make a decision. And most people won't make a decision because they procrastinate. What if it works? It costs money. All these things that they have a scarcity mindset, but yet they want abundance. Well, that never works out. You can't have scarcity and abundance at the same time. You can't have growth and be comfortable at the same time. It doesn't work. And so now that's what I love helping people do, is uncover that for themselves.
So there's a few things I want to unpack from what you were just saying. So number one, it's that you talked about this thing that you had with your wife. You guys didn't talk for a week or whatever. It's fascinating because a lot of people, and you'll have this with your friends back home too, or old high school friends or whatever, they're a certain way because of something that happened to them 20 years ago that oftentimes they've forgotten what it even was. Mm-hmm. So in a case like that, you don't remember what that was, but had you stayed in that, that could be the reason in a different alternate reality where you guys are divorced, because that thing turned into a month of not talking to turned into 6 months, turned into, you or her seeing someone else, and the path goes forward.
Yeah.
So I think that in order to change, we can't allow those things to affect us for any long period of time.
That's right.
We have to be very fast to shift. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to reprogramming, it's okay, cool. I'm aware. For me, I've become very conscious of how I'm feeling about certain things. If something hits me, my time from the emotional reaction of it to understanding what's actually happening is very short. I've condensed that to like 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. I can feel a certain way, I instantly know what's happening, and I react on it, right? So that allows me to then not allow things to affect me as much. Mm-hmm. So that we have this thing that causes be a certain way that we forgot what it was. Fine. I know I want something and I want to change. So how do we do it? I found what you'd experienced, what you just revalidated for me is moving somewhere else is the fastest way to change.
1,000%.
Because what happens is you're now in a new environment where you can be whoever the fuck you want to be.
That's right.
You can lie about your total existence and become that man. You know what I mean? You can step into it and basically you can be whoever. It's your playground. Mm-hmm. Go be whoever you want to be in a different place where no one knows you, because if you be that person for long enough, you'll become that person. Mm-hmm. So when you moved, did you have any, besides Andy, anyone else that you knew?
No, nothing. I just knew the weather was good. The energy I had, there just being, like you said, going somewhere and no one knowing you, was cool. Because I don't have that ego of that I have to be that guy.
You didn't want to be that guy.
If you're that guy, what are you learning? I want to be around people that I can soak up like a sponge and take my life to the next level. And I think that's a problem. A lot of people is they think they're the guy already. You know what I mean? A lot of men do. They think they're that guy. They don't want to listen to, this guy and, tell him what to, but that's just the wrong mindset to have. And there's no growth with that.
And we gaslight ourselves to believe that we are that for some kind of protective mechanism. We're the shit. But right. Okay, so to your 5 pillars, we talked about number 1, which is you got to get your body right. Number 2, you got to shift your identity. What's the third thing?
The third one to me would be the relationship with your wife. If you're married. So most people we work with are married. I believe if you are, it is, again, my own experience, it is like the thing that will cut your knees off, or you cut you off at your knees, or it's a superpower.
How long you guys been together?
We've been together 15 years, married 9, but it feels like day one. And I'm not just saying that. But I'm just telling you, I was at the worst of the worst, the lowest of the lowest. Nothing crazy, but do we have those moments like we shouldn't be together? Of course. Because I drive really hard and she's opposite of me. You know what I'm saying? That's why me and this guy get along. He's a hard driver. I love it. It's addicting. You know what I mean? When other people aren't, it's what are you doing? But it was just, we've been together and we went through times just like everyone else. And I go back to, again, what did it for me is getting clear on paper what I wanted. I go back to the same basics, man, that people don't do. I got clear on what I wanted. I didn't want to have the same relationship my dad and my mom had, because my dad was, he's dead now, but I learned everything what I didn't want in life, being around my family. So I'm thankful I went through all of that. My mom's great, still living, 74 years old. I've been taking care of her since she's 14. That was my goal in life. I accomplished that at 20 years old. Bought her a house. She's never paid for anything. Cars, house. She gets an allowance. She's 74 years old. She gets a credit card. Everything. That was my goal as growing up. So I solved that, but I learned what I didn't want from my dad. And so that's enabled me to be this parent that I am today as well. But again, how he treated my mom and all that, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be that guy. I need my relationship to be good. So we created some things in our life that we do that I now teach that will really, you can't get too off track if you do the things I do. You just can't. There are certain non-negotiables now in our relationship that we do, and it keeps us aligned. Number 1, we're on the same mission. We're aligned, we play our roles, but there's certain things that we do non-negotiables, like not going to bed mad. Number 1, Is
that actually a thing you guys have?
100%. Non-negotiable. We don't go to bed mad. We have weekly date night. We have a weekly marriage meeting. It can be 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The marriage meeting is what thing changed my entire relationship. I tell everybody the one thing that we did was that. And we sat down. It's our time to be transparent, open, and honest at the table. Talk about what worked, what didn't work. What do you have coming up? What do you need me for? That right there changed my entire relationship.
Is that date night? Is that at date night? Or
nope, separate. It's go have coffee, put your phone away. We're not answering it. It's separate. And then we have date night where we spend time with ourselves. And then, obviously we have our family time with our kids. And again, we're so busy as business owners and entrepreneurs that we just lose sight over that. Not necessarily intentional, not intentional. We all care about our families, but we ended up spending more time on our business and our work, right? And then our family gets left behind. And so what I do now, it's I call it work-life integration, not balance. It's I take my family with me. My family understands what I'm doing. And the big thing too that I help people with, and again, these are not complex things, dude. This is just you just need someone to tell you, is if you both have clarity in what you're wanting out of life, and most relationships don't. One person's going right and the other one's going left. Once and especially if you're running a business, getting clear on that, what we're doing, what we're building in life, and why it's so important, then you have seasons of life to where you have to spend more time in your business than you do at home. And there's time where you're going to spend more time in home, and there's all these things. But as long as the communication is there and we both understand what we're doing it for, and the communication is there, then you can have these seasons to where they understand. But when you have the seasons and there's no clarity in communication and you don't know where you're going, then they just think it's all about you. it's all about you, and it's like you start having those things going on. So like I'm just telling you, like getting that piece dialed in, setting some non-negotiables and some routines in your life that you do. It's like if you can get your relationship where it feels like day one, like when you first meet someone, when you first met your girl, right? It's like, well, day one feels really good. Like you got all the butterflies, like everything's great. Well, you can actually experience that every day and be married with kids. It's actually can be better because I figured that out. And now we're doing it. And we do the same things we would do at 18 years old, whatever they do now, but like we do it all. You know what I mean? It's like we have fun. We're not 50, she's 37, so she's a lot younger than me. But like, it can be great again if you put in some of these foundational things that I'm talking about. And that's why I focus on the pillars. I get very clear on what I'm doing. And every day I move the needle towards it. It's really a very simple process. But because we're focused on everything but the right things, we lose track of all of it. Because we're just really not clear. Outside, we want to make money. That's one thing we all can agree on that we're all clear on. We're not clear on the other parts of life.
But why money? Why do people want money?
Well, I think, well, for me, I want money because I want freedom. Well, some people money, they want status. They want things, material things, which I did too in my 20s. I used to buy stuff just to buy it. I'd buy stuff, couldn't use it. I was just buying stuff to buy it. Cars and, all the things. So I think, again, depending on where you're at in your life, you're younger, it's different, right? As you get older, you start to experience, or you start to realize, like, having material things, yeah, that's cool. But the real experience is being around the people that you actually love and care about and creating actual real experiences. So that's what I cherish now, where in my 30s, yeah, having the new whatever vehicle was cool, made me feel good for a minute, and then it would go away. And that's when I figured out, like, dude, the money's it's not working out. It buys things. Now it buys fulfillment for me because I don't buy things that much, right? I have everything that I need. What I want is to spend time with my family and go on vacations and teach my kids the things that I'm learning now that my kids actually know at 5 and 7 more than most adults. Because they see how dad operates. They see what I do all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If money was how we got happiness, though, Western culture would be much happier because we're constantly in the pursuit of money. Mm-hmm. But the reality is Eastern culture actually, when you study happiness, they're happy. Like a lot of Eastern poor countries are happier.
Right.
So it's not the money we're after. It's the things you just said, the status, the freedom.
Yes.
But yes. With that question, would it not be possible to achieve those without money?
I think money is important. Like I do believe, I do believe that money alone will not make you happy, but it will allow you to do things in your life because you have the money that will in return make you happy. I do believe you need money. I don't think you can just not have any money. Like, and maybe I'm contradicting myself right now, but I don't chase money, but you need money. I want money. I want lots of it. But if that's your focus is just that, you're not gonna be fulfilled. I want money so I can create freedom. I want a business so I can create freedom. So forget the paper. I want the freedom. I want the time. I want the experience. But you do need money to do those things. Okay. I'm not gonna say you don't, because you do. In my opinion, you do.
Okay.
I'm like contradicting myself, but it's
I don't think so. I think you're
you know what I'm saying?
You're validating. I think it makes a lot of sense.
It's the thing that money gives you.
It's good that you're solid in that, because I think some people are scared to say they want money. There's this culture. A lot of people are like, like, oh, I don't want to. It's not about the money.
But
people,
you know why?
Why?
Because they don't have any. Most people that say they don't want money don't have any money. That's what I figured out. Because money's good. Don't get me wrong. We should make money, because why? We can't help people if we don't make money. You have to have money to be able to help people, take care of your family, to eat, to do things, to be able to have experience with your family. Like, so you need both. It just can't be your master. Money can't be the master for you. You need to, that's the difference. And that's what I chased for a long time. I'm telling you, I wasn't valid. That was the status. It was all the wrong stuff. Now I have the money, but I just care about what it does for me.
Yeah.
The freedom. Now, if I didn't have any money coming in, it would be a problem because then I wouldn't have freedom. Right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have so many, and I've been in business making money for, since I was 19. I had my first like real business. We did, that business did millions of dollars in the first few years of business, and I'm uncovering through this conversation limiting beliefs around money, and I'm literally like I didn't realize it, and so what I'm realizing now is even. There's someone listening to this right now that I know is also feeling the same way. It's like you saying, I want money, I want lots of it. Saying those words never came to me as a reality of like something I could say. I when you said it, I was speechless because I'm like, wow, like that's cool. Cause I think culture, probably 95% of people in this country would be like, that guy's just, they would have some negative connotation.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
So the concept of, and money is good. Money is good. But a lot of people think money is bad. It's not. It's good because it doesn't make you evil. It just makes you more of what you are.
That's exactly right. More of what you are.
So if you're good, you're going to do more good. If you're
that's right.
Evil, well, maybe you'll be evil, but that's your choice.
That's exactly right. 100%.
So one thing you said is it feels like day one, which I think is really cool, and it's a tangible feeling to feel. Yeah. I wanted to say it's like in my relationship, we've been together for 9 years. It's better than day one. Every single week, month with where our life is at right now is better literally every single month. And my relationship's at a place where I could not have ever imagined it being so good.
Right.
Where she's growing into this badass chick that I'm so proud of, and like I brag about every chance I can, like someone talking, she's in the music industry. Yeah. Something pops up, someone says music. Oh, and so I think finding that relationship where like, I see so many men and women that are just in these relationships, they don't even know it's toxic. Like you treat your woman like your wife, like men in our culture talk about women like these stupid objects, and women talk about men like we're idiots. Homer Simpson. Why is that the perception? Why can't we treat our women like the divine badasses they are? Because God created them in a way to complement us. We made us in a way. So I love that that's a fundamental, the third pillar of your thing.
Yes, 100%. I mean, it's like if that's not good, you're not going to be the best version of you. If you're in a relationship and it's not good, you're not going to be the best. Yeah. You're not. You're running from it, right?
And women do something to create for us too. We don't even know about. Like they're out there like, I don't know if you've experienced this, but like there's things they do that I don't even know they do, not tangible, things that you can't quantify. Like even just like creating the home in a certain way, or like, dude, it's like she's on tour right now. Like there's pillows and stuff that I didn't even know. Like I didn't even know how these got, like there's things that happen in the house that I'm not even aware of.
That's right.
Until they're gone, until she's not there. But that's the smallest of things. Like there's so many other things. And so that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the fourth pillar?
The group of the men in your life around you.
Okay.
Every man needs men around them. That's the one thing that men struggle with. They're just not around the right people. And that's why we created the brotherhood we have. That's, Anthony's in our brotherhood, second one to jump in. And it's because it's hard to find the people. That's why I moved. I couldn't find it in North Carolina. I moved here and I create my own. So it's like you got to find one or build one. But having other men around you that are operating at a high level like you want to be at or where you're at is the key. And most men are just not around the right people. They're not around the right people to challenge them with relationship, to challenge them with taking care of their body, to challenge them with their mindset. They're just not around those people. They're just, I always, to say there's three types of men. There's the builder, which is someone that is operating at a high level, has very high standards, right? That's chasing a dream, takes care of his family, like pushing you to the next level, challenging you, holding you accountable. That's a builder. You have a bystander, which is just, they're just kind of there. Like they're okay with, working their day job and having 2 weeks vacation a year. And they're just kind of fine being comfortable. Like that's a bystander, not bad. It's not, they're just not striving for anything more, but they're not broke. Right. And so then you have the drainers. Those are people that take your energy when they walk in the room. They talk about everything. They gossip, complain. everything's everyone else's fault. There's a lot of people that spend a lot of time with drainers. I don't spend any time with drainers. I've kicked them completely out of my life. You can't be around drainers. And then bystanders, I don't even want that. If you're not a builder, you're not in my circle. You're not around me. And so that right there too, that started to put my life in a different, like there was a lot of things, but like it was the environment, and it was the men that I wanted to be around, and the men that I had to part ways with, that I've talked to for years, because why? You don't live at the standard that I'm going after. And so I'm not wasting my time with you, or now a distraction. That's the truth. It's either like, I want to be around people that's going where I'm going, or it's a distraction. It's very simple. And so everything that I'm around is positive. It's we're all growing. What we're talking about right here is all I talk about all day, every day, 7 days a week. There's nothing else I talk about. This is it. It's about growing. It's about getting better in all these areas of life. That's what I'm around. And so that's what I believe is like, men need that in your life. You need builders around you, or you're going to get soft. You're going to become complacent. Even if you are a high driver, you're going to become complacent. Yeah. There's just no other way around. That's what happened to me in North Carolina. I don't want to say that word, but like, I didn't have to work. I'm going to the gym 3 times a day. I'm getting bored. My business is running. I didn't have that problem, but I wasn't around men challenging me and raising me up. Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to happen, right? You're going to slide.
You're not just are
always going to be high level. So we need that homie in our corner who's going to 100%. Who's like, he's on his motivational kick that week.
Yes.
So you ride off it.
Yes.
And then maybe the next week you're on yours.
Yes.
Like it happens, right?
That's why we're creating this movement. This whole thing I'm doing, man. I want to create a massive movement. I mean, there's a reason why we're all connected. This is all we talk about. We're not interested in talking about anything else.
Yeah.
I literally am around nothing but positivity. I only attract it.
With your other business, right? Your business is running still back home and doing very well.
Yeah, very well. Yep.
It sounds like you're growing and doing better than ever.
Better than ever.
How do you feel about build? So you mentioned 3 types of people: builders, bystanders, and drainers. Uh-huh. And I think one of the first steps for me when I started shifting my circle was being conscious about how I feel after I leave somewhere. Mm-hmm. So if I'm around someone and I feel like low energy, that person, I call them energy vampires.
That's right.
They suck your energy.
Drainer.
And drainers, exactly. But what about in business? We're going to have, sometimes there's bystanders, the guy who checks in, he's very stable. He's always on time, 8 o'clock to 4 or whatever his hours are, I feel like there's a place for those people. Unfortunately, like sometimes some of my best builders are the ones who are, they come in a little late because they were doing other stuff. But like my bystanders are like very consistent. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that in business?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's a place for those. I don't think they don't become the key leaders in your company though.
Right.
There is a place for those, right? But there's still, in our business, there's still an expectation and a culture. We still want to get those bystanders, and yes, they're very good, they're very consistent, right? They do it, and it's good. But they're not like taking your company to the next level, but you need them, right? You still want to try to level these people up. You still want to challenge them as a leader in the company. Like I want, when we hire people now, and again, this is just the way I do it, is okay, you may be a bystander now, but maybe because you're a bystander, because you've never been around someone with high standards. And so when you come into my organization, you see how we operate, you're naturally going to be better. Why? Because we're going to challenge you with things that maybe someone else has never challenged you with. So we still need to try to upgrade the bystanders, right? Drainers, like you just can't have that. But I do agree with you. There's a place for those people that they just get stuff done and you need them. But your key people, your C-level people that are really charging hard, like they have to have that that's a standard in our company. So the standards is what you do all day when no one's watching, 7 days a week. So we have very high standards. And when we hire people, what we didn't do and what we do now is way different. This is everything. How my business started to really grow is because when I meet with you after my team does, like, okay, you have the skill set, great. How do you operate as a person? What's important to you? Because we believe like you got to self-develop in my company. It's a non-negotiable. You're not going to stay the same person. Even if you come in as you still gotta train and get better. We still want you to take care of yourself. We still want you to have a great family life. We still, if your wife's birthday, you take off. If your kids, we take off. Like, and you still get paid. Like, there's certain things that we instill in our culture that's enabling me to build the business that's growing right now without me faster than it's ever had in my entire career, because of the things I'm telling you that we made the shift in. But you do need those bystanders, but you still need, as a leader, to be able to rise them up too and show them what's possible.
How can men get around better men? It sounds like for you it was investing. Mm-hmm. Is that the only way?
I don't think it's the only way. There's things online that you can probably get involved with at very nominal, cost. But there's church groups. There's all kinds of things that are free. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they are.
Sports too.
There's sports, right? But I think at some point, if you're wanting to get to the highest level, you're gonna have to spend money to investigate around the right people. They're just not gonna magically show up and spend time with you. Now, you can go to churches and schools and do that, but like you're gonna be limited unless you find the unicorn. At least in my experience, I've always had to pay to get around someone I really wanted to know. It just didn't happen because they're busy, and so it's like they're spending time with people that are in their network.
Mm-hmm. Also, have to be cautious about what that is. You talked about like YPO and stuff. I was in EO, which is like for same thing with me. I was in it, and I was on the board. I was in the marketing chair. I was like, and all these allegedly successful people, like they would just every couple of weeks go party and eat shit food and drink, and like their businesses aren't even that successful. And no disrespect to them, there's a handful of people that are really dope. Sure, but I'm like, I don't want that. Like what you guys are doing, it does not inspire me at all.
100%.
I want to be around people that, that are better than me, right? I don't want to be the leader in every room I step into.
Right.
So, okay, obviously your group is what you're building is dope. Mm-hmm. What are some other things? Like you said, the brotherhood you invested in, but like what are some other groups of those people that you found people could get into?
Well, I think for me, it starts with like, we're talking about free, reading books, watching podcasts. There's plenty of free stuff out there. A book costs hardly nothing, right? I read every day, all day. Every day. I self-develop my brain. And so, and I've been doing that for years on whatever it is I'm trying to learn. I self-develop in it. So, there's a lot of people, they don't even do that. You know what I mean? So that's a step you can take without getting, a mentor. Like if you're truly broke right now, like start studying. If you're younger or whatever, like start studying, start reading books, start applying information that you're learning. What are you interested in? That's a, very inexpensive way to get started, to start self-developing. But that will lead you to, as you self-develop enough, you will start to realize like the people you're around are not the right people for you. Most people aren't aware that they're the wrong people, dude. They're not aware because they're not self-developing and they're not around the right people. Does that make sense? Yeah,
it makes sense. And the times in my life where I've drifted, and probably for you too, it's the same thing. It's like the people. I'm getting around complacent people.
Yeah. But again, if you're broke and you're starting out, like pick up a book. Pick a book up. Or the book will change your perspective. If you do it enough, like reading and self-development will change your perspective. Then you'll start to figure out what you need to go do, that you need to go find the mentor. You need to do the thing. Like it will start to, the path will start to shape itself as you start doing something. Like sitting around and thinking about it's not going to work. Like start reading something, start taking some action, and then clarity will start to shape itself. It will tell you what you need to do.
Sometimes books, it's a lot though to consume, and for me,
sure.
I've read hundreds of books, and I've listened to hundreds as well of all the personal development books. But people would recommend me a book, and I would read it, and I would just sit and I'd be like, I learned to speed read too, so you get through it faster, and it just was miserable. Like I always hated it because I was taking other people's real present time solutions for their problems or their life and taking it for myself. Yeah. So I shifted the way I consume knowledge to information, to being like, what's my present time problem or situation, and finding a real-time solution for it, which is often books. Mm-hmm. But one of the easiest things to do, I think, for most people is I found some really dope playlists on Spotify that are like just like, those YouTube videos where it's like a collection of like motivational speeches with music, but there's some playlists. So now when I work out, I don't listen to music. I just pop those on. Yep. And every morning I'm getting an hour while I'm at the gym of just of just like motivational injected into my brain.
Yeah. I love that.
So, and it's simple and it takes nothing and it's also enjoyable. I don't need to listen to music. I don't need to listen to this garbage stuff that they program with frequencies and other stuff to manipulate your brain. Right.
That's right. Yeah.
So, okay. Community, getting around the right people. And that doesn't have to be necessarily a brotherhood of men, because it could be, reading or following people that you know, go delete everyone you follow and turn them into the right, you know, go follow the right people like you. And the fifth thing is what?
Just having a strong faith. You know, whatever that is, you know, for that person.
I didn't hear money in any of these.
Well, all of those will equate to more money. They literally will. Get around the right people, develop your mindset, you will make more money.
How do you develop your faith?
Well, for me, I'm on my, you know, I don't talk about it a lot. Because I'm on my own journey, but for me, it's, you know, it's reading, you know, every day, trying to. Am I 100% consistent with that? No, that's probably the one pillar of my life that personally, like,
you're wearing a cross, so I imagine you're reading the word of, you know, you're reading Bible or something.
Yeah. I mean, I have the John Maxwell Bible's right. What I got, John Maxwell Bible.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. You know, but you know, I'm on my own journey, slowly getting into it. You know, I don't talk about it a lot. I don't know why yet. When I will, you'll know it. I'll probably be like obsessed, and all my content will be about the Bible. But I believe, like, everything I have in my life is because of God. It's not because of me. The situation I'm in is because of that. And so every day I'm trying to just more develop myself with that. I'm taking my family to, you know, to church on Sundays and just doing certain things that make me feel good or make us feel good as a family, and just trying to learn as much as I can. But I'm at the beginning stages, honestly, of it. I've always believed, but I've just never really studied it. Now I'm starting to like pick the book up. But I 100% believe everything in my life is because of that. I've never not thought any different, although I haven't studied it really. A lot of people think I have because of some of the things I talk about, you know, relate to the Bible and the self-development stuff. But you know, I'm really just getting started.
Well, the Bible is the greatest personal development book.
100%. That's right.
And if you look at all these, you read it, personal Bible, you point back to it. Like it's all the same. It's all the same stuff.
Right.
So I might as well just go to the source.
Yeah. Just sometimes I don't understand something, depending on what Bible it is. I'm like, what is that?
It's hard to read.
Like, dumb it down for me.
I have the fifth grade one. You know, explain it like I'm 5 Bible.
That's what I need. but I do believe it's. It is, but for me, it's like you need it. You have to have something higher than yourself that you're believing in, and I believe that everything in my life is because of that. It's not because of me.
Okay, so pillar number 1, you got to get your body right. Pillar number 2, you got to change your identity. Pillar number
mindset,
3, your partnership with your spouse.
That's right.
Pillar number 4.
Brotherhood of men.
You got to get around the right people. And pillar number 5 is you got to get in faith. And I think what you said is, like, when you develop those, you develop money. Your income will grow. You have a business that you were telling me before that you're growing better than ever. You're doing tens of millions of dollars. I don't know if you're cool with me saying that, but
yeah.
And so what does that actually look like in your business? I'm curious how you've been able to grow successfully and getting better. Like, you're not in the business anymore.
No,
but I'm sure you're doing some stuff.
I have a meeting with my CEO once a week.
Okay.
An hour and a half.
And when did your work like become this little? Like, at what point was it when you moved?
It was in motion when I moved. And then when I moved, I just went to an entirely different level. I'm telling you, like, a switch flipped.
How many hours were you working back home before you moved, like 3 years ago? Small?
No. Oh,
a lot.
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, you were working like a full time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you had a CEO at the time? I'll tell you what I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to understand how you transition from being in the business to being not in the business.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was becoming a realization, like, there's obviously I was doing something wrong even though I was making money, to having to put so much time in the business, and started studying other businesses doing it. And like, I knew I was the problem. I figured out I was the problem, but I was also the solution. So for me, when all this happened, it was so quick, because I like I said before, I started developing Jason more. I really, like, became obsessed with become a better leader, getting clear on expectations, setting other people up to win. Like there's just some shifts that I made in my company very fast. And it wasn't around the technical things. You know, it wasn't around like, new technology we implemented. Okay, that's pieces of it. But what I changed was the culture. That's the biggest shift. But that started because I changed who I was and how I was showing up and how I was operating. And once I did that and I cast a clear vision for my team so everyone sees the vision, most owners only have the vision, their team doesn't know the vision. We establish core values in the business on how we operate, our non-negotiables. This is how we make decisions. This is how we hire and fire. It's setting up, comp plans that are tied to the vision of the company so that when we win, you win. My focus is making sure if I get you to win, we'll win. It's shifting that. It was giving everyone unlimited PTO, which we do. Everybody thought I was crazy. The best move I ever did. It weeded out the bad people. It's all A players. We watch those back. We get more done. We got less staff. You know, it's caring. It started caring about them and their families. It's painting that picture and painting that story that you can realize your dreams inside the company that we're building. This is how massive it's going to be. Dude, like what I just said, when I started to actually execute, is when everything started to elevate. And again, was there a new process and technique? Yeah, there was those things, but that wasn't it. It started with me. I had to show up differently. I had to become someone new, which is why I talk about what I talk about. Then I started to attract different people, like the CEO that I have now, and that actually had his own business and shut it down to come work in my business. Lived in Arizona, moved to North Carolina, and now he moves back because I'm here. Didn't know all that was going to happen. He's moved two times in 2 years, his whole family.
Your business is just back home?
No. We're in 16 states.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where you're at?
Doesn't matter where I'm at, no. I mean, we had business here before I moved here. I just wasn't in it. So,
okay.
My role now is just strategy, vision, paint the picture, and making sure the culture stays aligned. But that's really when I did that, and I started to attract the right people around me, the right A players at the C level. What I found was what you think as an owner is like you think you can do it better than everyone. And sometimes that's true. But what I say is if you can get someone to do it 75% as good as you should let them do it. And hiring an assistant was the first big move I made. Best move I ever made in my business was hiring an assistant to handle all my emails. I'd spend all day, like most business owners, doing things that aren't moving the needle forward in your business, wonder why it's not growing. That's why. And so it's like I did that, changed the culture, set the mission, created value, started attracting different people, helping them win. I mean, that's really what changed my business. And it happened I went from not being able to sleep and working all the time. I mean, I spent, people, know the story, like 5 years or so, I'd be in the hospital every 3 months because I was stressed out and I'd pass out and I'd have to go in an ambulance and they'd pump me full of morphine. They would knock me out and I'd get back up and I'd do it again. I did that for years. That was my life. That's why I hated my life. I'm like, why am I doing this? And you have all this money coming in. You're like, how do I stop the train? You know what I mean? But when I started focusing on Jason, focusing on my team, that's literally when everything changed. And it happened so fast, I almost didn't see myself out of it. It's like my phone, I had 2 phones ringing to none. Like I get zero. I get no phone calls with my business. If there's a problem, it gets handled. I used to worry about when I go on vacation, it was worse leaving. If you're a business owner, watch right now. I know. Because I did it my whole life. You'd go on vacation, you'd spend a bunch of money to go, and you'd be miserable. And then you couldn't wait to get back home just so you could sit at a table like this with a laptop because you felt at peace. That's how I lived my life. And no one feels good around that person. You think my wife really felt good that I was present? Dude, I was mentally checked out. Because we'd have all kinds of problems when I did. Like all your problems, when you go on vacation, that's when they just show up. Like payroll problems, cash flow problem, it shows up when you go on vacation. I lived my whole life that way. I'm like, there's got to be a better way. And it was me. I was the problem. I kept it where it was at. And so then when I figured out the things that I told you and removed myself, now it grows faster, it's making more money, and I have all of my time back. And I go to sleep every night and I don't worry about it. I used to couldn't sleep. I used to take sleeping medicine for the longest time. I'd have to knock myself out to go to sleep. This all changed within the last 3 years, dude. Like I don't take any sleep. I just go to sleep like a baby now because I don't worry about, and again, it was scarcity mindset before. We have these accounts. We're afraid we're going to lose them. I got to take this call here and do everything the client says, even though it's your own business. But you have clients and they tell you what to do, right? If you don't do it, they get rid of you. It hurts your pocket. So you're constantly like on call all the time. And we were doing retail at the time, so it never stops. There's always something going on. And now I'm like, I don't have the, I know I'm good, so good at what I'm doing. I don't care if they all leave. I know how to do it. I'll have it all back in 2 years if I went broke because I have it here now. I know what to do. I'm not working for people I don't work with. We don't do contracts with people I don't like anymore. If your values don't align with mine, we're not doing your work. I don't care how much money it is. Dude, I couldn't do that 3 years ago. I had to get your money. Now you got to align with what we're doing or I don't want you. And I'm not hiring anyone that I can't sit down and have coffee with like this. These are things I've just put in place that changed everything for me. And now it's like, man, how's this actually happen? Like, how are we we got locations I've never even been to. We got vehicles, I've never even seen them. And it's just happening. And it's amazing because now we have a strategy like to potential exit in 5 years. Now I'm focused on, well, how do I make sure the multiple's up? See, I'm having different conversations. What contracts do I need? How do I diversify this? Who do I not need? You're bringing my multiple down. I'm getting rid of you. This is where we're going. Every decision we make in our business is based on that 5-year plan. And I don't get squirrely anymore. I used to get squirrely. New idea. Business owners, all these different ideas are great. And we go after them, right? And we're like, we have 5 businesses, only one makes money. That was me too. Had 5, 6 businesses at the same time. Thought I was good. Egos felt good. I got, look at all these people I got running around. I was not making any money, making money in one. And so it's like getting laser focused. The other thing I did, getting laser focused on the avatar of what we wanted to go after. So we literally I just told someone coming in, I was like, sorry, I can't help you. I don't do that anymore. Do you know how that good that felt? To tell you I can't in a nice way, but that doesn't align with what we're doing. I don't do that anymore. I don't do retail anymore. And so getting clear on the avatar, what we're going after.
What does retail mean, by the way? In
residential customers, like people dealing with the homeowner.
Got it.
Which is hard, right? Which I love personally when I was doing it, but when you're trying to scale it, it's harder. Now it's multifamily and tract builders, national accounts, big accounts. We go and do 300, 400, 500 units at a time. Everything from the polished concrete, all the flooring. Easy, like way easier. It's the quickest path with the least resistance. All this is like a mindset shift in the last 3 years, what I'm talking about. Why? Because I was able to come up for air. Business owners are so far in the weeds, you can't see all the opportunities floating around you. You can't see it just like I couldn't. And you think you are seeing it, but you're not because you can't see your blind spots. So someone else can. That's why I can go into a business in 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, I know exactly how to fix your problem. You can't even see your problem because you're too far, doing paperwork. This is the problem with business. This is what I was doing. And I just started to shift some of this stuff. And again, getting clear on what customer we wanted. Now we don't bid products that don't align with what I want. That structure is set. You don't bid it if they can't give me $3 million in business and they're not doing these 5 things, you don't bid to work. And now we have a handful of people that because we know the potential's there, now we have one person that's focused on them. Before we'd have one focus, we just talked about this. One person focused on 5 different accounts. Well, guess how many attention to 5 we're getting? None, because you're splitting them up and giving them 20% each. Now they're not very happy. Now the competition comes in and squashes you because maybe they're focused on it. So now it's like laser focus. One account can give me X amount of dollars. I am putting you on this. I don't want you to touch anything else. I just want you to over deliver. We're bidding all their work. I want you to show up every week. I want you to know everybody in their company. And that right there, why? Because the other people can't compete. Why? Because they're doing it like I was doing it. Trying to do everything, be greedy on paper and have one guy cover all the projects. It doesn't work. One guy cover an account. You'd be better off having one guy focused. You will retain that customer and you will make more money. But on paper, you're like, this is a better way. I can get more out of you if I have you handle these 5. If Jack's filming 5 other people, you think he's focusing on Jason? Nope, that's why it didn't work for me. That's why he's with me all the time. It doesn't work. Those things would change my business. And it's taken off like crazy because we just made those shifts. We are laser focused on what we're doing. And my team knows it. And we don't get squirrely and we cut out distractions. And we attract A players. We make sure they win. We give them a big vision. They know exactly the clear expectation. And that's it. Most business owners can't do that.
I love that. When you moved to Arizona, your CEO worked for you, right? Because he moved there, I think.
He moved. He moved before I moved here. I didn't know I was moving. It happened real quick.
So you brought him in, because you saw a problem. You were starting to see these problems in your world, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, I got to make changes. So you brought in a CEO, and you invested in. Like, there's these things that kind of correlate at the same time.
I took a risk. So before, I was afraid to hire people. Okay. So business owners are afraid. A lot of them are afraid to invest in their business, spend the money, or they try to find the cheap person. Now I want to not do that. I don't want to do that. That way doesn't work. So I had to invest in him. In the CEO, right? It's better. And again, this is hard for us to understand because this was me too.
Did you buy him out because he had a previous company, or you just gave him a really good structure?
I gave him structure. I sold him the dream. I sold him a dream so big he couldn't not do it. I'm very good at doing that. But I also believe it. And this year he'll make more money than he's ever had in his other business with me. And now he's going to be set up to where, and he's 34, he'll be rich very soon if we just follow the play. You know what I mean? So it was those shifts I made. Again, all started with Jason. All starts with the business owner. All starts with the business. If the business owner doesn't change, the business ain't changing. You're not. If you're not an A player, a business owner, why do you think you can't attract A players? Because you're not an A leader. I wasn't an A leader. I was a turkey trying to hire stallions. It doesn't work. They'll come in and you sell them. The stallion's going to leave you because they're going to know you're a turkey. Like, they're not going to stay in your business. So as a business owner, it's why it's so important for you to self-develop and become a great leader and keep pushing the envelope and be someone they look up to. All my people look up to me because I'm in shape at 50. I know 100%. Yeah, I don't have to ask them. I already know. They see how I operate. They see how I treat my family. You think they want to work for someone like that? Yes. They want to work with someone that's got a big vision? Yes. They want to work with someone that helps them win during the process? Yes. Most businesses aren't focused on the people. They're focused on themselves. They don't have a culture. They got a bunch of people running around wanting a paycheck, looking forward to the weekend. You're not going to grow anything big like that. And again, getting back to it, find good people and overpay them. Overpay them. Do you know how much money I've lost because I've tried to get cheap people to work in my books? It's embarrassing, the mindset I had around that. Why would you want to pay someone cheap to watch your money? And I know everyone's watching is doing the same thing. Most people watching. I did it for years. You know how much money it costs you? If you get the right person in there, they'll make you money. So pay them more. Pay them 25, 30% more. They will make you 3x of what someone else is costing you. And they'll take more off your plate. The cheap players, the C players, will just add more to your plate. I always say this, think about this. If you have 10 people, in most businesses, if I say you got 10 people, is everyone giving 100%? The answer is no. There was a study done. I don't remember exact the percentage. It was I think 50 or 60%. Well, let's just say it's 80. It's not 80. 10 people giving 80%. You have the owner here. He's number 11. This was me. You got 10 people here, just for easy math. And they're giving 80%. You got 10 people. Where do you think the other 200% is going? Mr. Boss Man, this is why I was in hospital. Because you take the burden. You either take the burden and fix it and work crazy hours, or your business falls apart. And usually it's both. That's what put me in the hospital. That's why my business stalled financially. Is that right there? That's what's going on in most businesses. Most businesses. Everyone's not giving 100%. Why? Because the owner's who he is and he's not making sure they win. The culture's not right.
What were you doing in revenue when you installed your CEO? Or in comparison to where you're at now?
Yeah, I mean, dude, we've almost doubled in the last 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll do, we're pushing 40, but in our pipeline for next year is already around 75. But we just do, and I do no marketing. I do no advertising.
It's through serving.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we go, and that's the things, get laser focused, care everyone else. This is what I've done too. I've always cared about the outcome for my customer. If we don't do a good job for you, I don't want your money. I literally don't. I am not that guy. I literally want you to be happy with what we're doing. That makes me feel better than you actually paying me. And so the mindset, what I brought into the new construction commercial was when I was working retail and you're dealing with Miss Homeowner, it's a different connection. So I brought that same mentality to the commercial side where people don't really care. It's about getting in, getting out, and like, that's it. But that level of service to where, you know, we're doing things different from the competition in a new construction environment, giving them that retail service feel and giving them so much attention, like that they can't live without you. That is your goal as a business owner, is to create your product and your service so well that they do not want to leave you. And that's hard. Like, it's not easy, right, what I'm saying, because we find holes in our business too, but you should constantly be looking for your holes. You should constantly be surveying your customers, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to fix, by the way. We survey every project. If we do a project and there's no LOR, which is letter of recommendation, because I can't keep up with 400 units that takes 18 months to do, then we did not do something right. That's my metric. If you don't get that, you suck. If you don't get that, it's a problem. I know there's problems even if you get it, but I also know that means you handle it. Because now they're telling me they're going to use me again. And then we use those LORs to go show the other big companies that we're getting, and it's easy sell. I don't have to sell anything. I just over deliver. And that's hard to do in construction because most people don't care. So getting your team focused, setting them up to win, caring about them, caring about your competition, like, these are basics.
What was the vision you cast when you were doing, you know, the half of what you're doing now when you brought the CEO, and what was the vision that you stated?
I'm like,
to the team?
Dude, we're like, picture this. We're gonna, like, we're at this revenue now. I want you to come in. You're young, sharp. I knew he was. I knew I was going to get him. And like the second conversation I ever had with him, like, I told my wife, I'm gonna get this guy. He's coming. And I just painted the picture, like, dude, imagine if we're doing in the next. So he's been there almost 3 years, and by 2028, I know we're going to do 100 million if we just don't mess up anything. And in 5 years, we're going to be here, and we're going to exit the business. And there's going to be two opportunities. One, you can buy the company. I'll sell it to you because I'm probably going to be changing lives. Or I'm tying you into the exit, which I am. So I just paint the picture of, we get to this is a multiple you have. You're going to be 37 years old, and you're going to walk away with, you're going to be able to do, like, your life set. You're going to be able to be done. You can choose what you want to do. Me and you'll go start another business. But this is the dream. So I just painted that picture, which I believe, by the way. It wasn't I know it's going to happen. I just needed my who, not how. That's the way I look, like, who, not how. You've probably read the book. Best book ever. Changed my way I operate. But, like, I just sold him the vision, and I said, you're making this now where you're at. You come in here. I'm going to make sure this is going to happen. And he's already past that. And he sees the vision, and I empower him to make decisions. And so as long as we are doing it within my core values of what we're doing, and you don't break the trust with me, I'm going to let you do what you do. That's it. We just literally had that conversation last week. I trust him a lot. I trust him with a lot of money to make decisions, but it was empowering him. It was painting the picture and showing him the win for him in a very short amount of time. And most business owners don't do that. You know, they just don't. And now that he sees the play for him, I don't have to worry about Jason. I know he's going to freaking kill himself to get to that number. Kill himself. He's 34 years old. He is right there at the prime to take it. You know what I mean? Like, he'll be done at 40 if he wanted to. So, you know, but you also have to have someone on the other side that, like, has that hunger and that dog inside them. And that's what I was looking for in him. So not only was he smart, which is hard to find smart and hunger at the same time. Usually, like, you want it both, right? You got one or the other. But he was actually smart, educated, and hungry, and young. That's a hard combo. Were
there characteristics that he was weaker in that you're like, I got to work on this?
100%. He's very coachable, which I like. But here, and this is what most business owners, the problem is they're too much in I can do it myself. I just do it myself. Mm-hmm. So he still struggles out a little bit. But that struggle with him will hold him back from making the money he wants to make. And he knows that now. He's gotten a lot better. But that's the big thing with him is, like, he's such an operator that he just wants to do things. And it's holding his team back because you're not empowering your team. Then they won't want to follow you. So, dude, you got to set clear expectations and move out of the way. And you need to be working on things that only you can do that light you up, which is what I do. I'm not doing anything else, period. If it doesn't move us forward, I'm not doing it. Find someone to do these things. This is how he's going to go from a $40 million CEO to a $100 million CEO. Dude, I need your desk clean. I need you to be working on the deals that we're working on with how do we buy that company? How do we add this product line cabinet to our business and we triple our business because I don't need any more clients. I already have them. So we've already added counters. Now we're going to add cabinets. My business just triples immediately. They already like, know, and trust me. If I tell me I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. You're going to have a problem with your guy, I'm going to get in. That's how I got in with everything. And so it's just, I mean, what I'm saying is what I did. Like, and again, pay him. You got to pay him. You got to take care of him, care about his family.
How did you find him?
Well, he was a recruiter he was recruiting all my labor across the country. He had a recruiting company. So he was very good at finding people, which is really a skill set, by the way. Dude can find anybody that's not looking. We attract them now with systems he has in place because that was his business. So he would find all my labor around the country. We'd say, hey, we're going to Dallas, Texas. I need 25 crews and I need them in 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. That was what he did. And I saw how he worked. I'm like, I'm getting this guy.
Yeah, the person you're looking for is somewhere in your world right now, right?
Yeah.
Oftentimes.
Yes. You're already there.
Yeah.
You just don't know it.
And you need a little vision too to see it, and because he wasn't in, he was kind of in, but he probably didn't know the technicalities that a lot of people in the industry have.
No. And
has he ever laid floor?
No, and at his level, we don't need to. I just if you're doing that, you're in the wrong space. You need to understand people. I know this is different. I used to think you need to know my business to come in there. You really don't. Sometimes that's the worst thing you do because now you've got 20 years of bad, especially these older guys. You've just been doing it wrong for 20 years. I don't want your mindset in here. Give me someone that's sharp, young, they've never seen anything about a floor because they'll learn that. But what I need you to do is be a great leader. I need you to be a good person and develop your leadership and know how to lead people to the vision that you're doing. We got project managers that know the technical stuff. I don't need you to know that. I don't even want you to know that. You need to understand an overview of what we're doing, but you don't need to know how the floor goes down. That's what I used to think. That is the wrong thinking. I need you to understand, but I need you to understand it so you can make sure this guy is doing what he's supposed to do. And we're measuring by the data and not our feelings. Like, as long as we have the right reporting that he can set up to watch these things, like he don't need to know how to do the technical things. He needs to understand the process, but that's it.
Dude, so we started with body, mindset.
There's a business masterclass.
Yes, but it is a result of, would you be where you're at right now had you not done the body, the identity shift, the relationship growth?
Nope. I would not.
What's number 4?
Relationship mentors, men.
Yeah,
and mentors.
Then faith.
Yeah, no way.
You wouldn't have that.
100%. There's no way. Like, the body got me back to feel like Jason, self-respect, confidence, all those things. People started to notice it. That discipline and consistency translated in my business, being disciplined and consistent when it's hard and you don't want to do it, you do it in a way, because that's a business owner. Having a relationship that I feel good about when I leave and come back home, it's good. Having the right people around me, pushing me, mentors that are challenging me, that I can meet with weekly to level me up and to challenge my thinking. And then the faith piece, dude. If you can do that, that all equates to you making money. That is the only reason I'm making money right now. It is not anything else. That's why I'm so passionate about it. And I know people can't understand it necessarily and see it, but that is the bricks. That is a foundation of what I've built. That is why people come to work for me. I promise you, if you go ask them, they see how I am. That's why he's here. He saw the difference in how I operate to other people he may have been around, right? And he sees it.
And he wants it. And that's
he
why.
Wants it. And he's young and he's hungry, and I want to help him. And I will help him. And he'll be rich too. Everybody around me would just be rich. You get close enough, you'll buy stuff. I mean, that's what you get close enough, you're gonna be in better shape. He was pudgy doughboy. I mean, now he's getting in shape. But what's more importantly is what's the most important thing? It's not he's getting in shape. It's his mindset that's changed. Every one of my programs got in the best shape of their life because their standards have changed. That's what we teach. Standards. How do you raise your standards? Change your identity. The program and all that nonsense is that yes, you need to do that, but it's because he changed here, which is why his body changed. And now he's understanding by being on every call and around me 24/7, the people that he's around, he can't even have conversations with him again. Why? Because he's got a different standard now. He sees this. It's hard to go back down here. It's hard for me to have conversations with my own family. I love my family, but I'm just saying, when you're operating here and these people aren't changing, so if you're watching this and you're growing and you're around certain people, what you'll notice is the gap gets bigger. You will not be able to have the same conversation with people that are not growing. You will outgrow them quickly. And it's like talking to someone in a foreign language. Like, they don't understand what's going on with you. They think you're weird. And yes, I am, but I think you're weird. Right? So that you start to grow like this. And so, that, again, I think that's why he's there. Dude works 7 days a week, does anything, goes with me everywhere. He sees the vision. I painted a picture for him. All he's got to do is just get better, develop his skill set, and execute, and he'll be living the dream too. We're all living the dream. We're living it today. And here's the other piece I would say about business, and this is what I didn't do. It's great to be chasing goals and big dreams. But what I figured out this changed how I feel about myself, is you have to be grateful for the day every day and grateful for what you're already achieving, because we're all achieving. We all woke up this morning. We're all having these conversations. Okay, we're not making the money we want. We don't have the thing we want. Okay, well, shift your mindset of like, dude, you're on your way. Like, you have more than most people. You've got your health, you've got family, you've got a business. You just have opportunities to figure out how to make it better. So being grateful every day when you wake up and starting your day and being grateful and taking in good information, that's a key too. So have something you're stretching for, but be grateful and thankful and celebrate the wins along the way. As a business owner, and I did this for 47 years, is I would chase this target and I'd get close, I'd move it. I'd raise the target. And so then I never had any fulfillment because I never caught it. It's like, it just kept moving. And so celebrating the wins through the week, when you have wins for your team and you, is critical for you to be happy and fulfilled along the way to chasing something bigger. Most of us are chasing something, we never get there, and we're unhappy because, like, man, it's not happening quick enough, right? We all do it. Okay, well, what did we do this week that moved us forward? Can we be grateful for that? We're still striving here. We're making progress. I didn't do any of that. I do these things every day in the morning with my kids, taking them to school. It's like, what are 3 things you're grateful? We do it every day, all of us, same thing. And it may change every day with them, but like, we do that exercise. We start the day being grateful. Put your mindset in a different, you know what I'm saying? It sets your day up. Can't be grateful and pissed at the same time. And so it's just little things I've done like that too, because I was miserable. I'm like, it don't have to be this way. Yes, I want to chase a big dream, but I need to be thankful that I'm able to do the things along the way to actually enjoy the process. Enjoy the process.
Which you can do now that you have the right foundation.
Yes. But you have to become someone different. So if you're struggling, you've been struggling for 5-10 years in the same spot, it's you. It is not anyone else. It's not the economy. I've never had a bad economy.
I'm always confused. People are like, yeah, the economy's slowing down. I'm
where?
Like, I don't see it.
Where? We hired people in 2008 and 11 happened. Like, we that's market. That's time to take over the market.
Yeah, but if it's what you're focusing on.
That's right.
And if you're focusing on that, you're going to see more of it. It's going to change your reality. You're going to believe it, and you're going to be cooked.
What you focus on, you will get.
Yep. On that, anything else you want to touch on before we wrap? I got 2 last questions for you.
No, I feel like I did a master class on business.
You did, yeah, you did. Yes, and I'm being a student. The best part about having a podcast is it's free consulting.
Isn't it? You get to learn.
Yeah, you get to learn. Yeah,
it's good.
And
you get to see different perspectives, right?
Yeah, and I get to ask the questions that I want to ask.
I love it.
So you pay Andy $50,000. I just get to say, hey, come down and sit down. I'll give you a little exposure.
It's a beautiful thing, right?
That being said, okay, so people want to go deeper with you.
Yep.
How do they do that?
Reach out on Instagram.
Okay.
They go to
Official
my site.
Jason Watson.
Official Jason Watson. Yep.
And then
there's an application page. They can go in, fill it out, book a call, see what we're about.
Cool. And then secondly, if you had to speak to your 20-year-old self and you could just say 1 or 2 things, what do you say?
Figure out what you want, visualize it every single day before you wake, when you wake up, when you go to bed, and find someone doing it, get close to them.
Mic drop. Thank you, man.
Bam. That's what I would do. That's literally what I would do. It's very simple, right?
Yes.
Vision. See it. Feel it. Everything I've saw in my life, like, dude, the first truck I got, everything, I literally like saw it like this water bottle. And I pictured the rims on it, the seats, everything. I literally like visualize it every day without even knowing what I was doing. And then I always get it because I just like, it just, you know, you want the new car, the new red car, and you start noticing red cars everywhere. It's kind of that same thing. So I believe in visualization, getting clear on what you want, then find someone that's going to do it. If I want to learn how to set up podcasts, you think I'm going to go read about it or I'm going to ask you?
Yeah.
It's not even a question. There's a lot of dumb people that would be trying to figure out how to do it themselves. They literally would spend weeks instead of just cutting a check to you to tell them how to do it. I just cut a check for speed. So know what you want, find someone doing it, and get close to them. Like is there anything else that you would do to get there faster? I don't think so. Because they're going to tell you what you need to study. You're going to learn what you need to study from them. You're going to see how they operate. And you're just going to, you're going to follow them if they're the right person.
Dude, thank you. I wish I had my notepad here, but this is one of those podcasts that I'm going to go back and watch myself. So if you're listening or watching, thank you for tuning in. And this is one I would say go back and rewatch. If you're interested in growing your life, I'd say go back to the start and listen for the first 45 minutes. And if you're interested in growing your business, start around 55 minutes and go from there. So thank you, man. Anything else before we wrap?
Thank you so much for having me. I didn't realize we went. How long did we go? 2 hours?
An hour. Well, we did a pre-podcast, so it was 30 minutes. And if you guys want to check that out, you could probably find some clips on Jason's stuff. It was pretty good. Sauce on business. And then, went for an hour and a half. So
yeah, cool, man.
You got a fight to catch. Thank you guys. Thanks.